All right, so next night here, Riley, what'd you do today, Ray?
Took the intake to the car wash and looks 100 times better.
Oh, it looks brand new.
So
It's brand new. There was a decal here with some glue that we can take some solvent to.
yeah, you just touch it up by hand.
Yeah.
Happy with that.
Oh, it looks really good. And we got Jerry's 92 mil throttle body, just kind of throwing it on there. Anyway, what we're doing today is installing our Summit Balancer. So I got the old shake and bake here, the shop oven. We're gonna preheat this up to, let's go to 200. And we're gonna throw that thing in there for 15 minutes. But before we do that, I'm just going to measure our interference fit. So to do that, I'm just gonna mic the crank here. I'd like to get a little deeper on there, but I can't with the cover on. 1.482 and 2/10,000, so 1.4822. And I don't have the bore gauges here, but I'll use the telescopic gauge again. .481 and a tenth or so. So there's about 1 thou interference fit there, which is the reason we're going to throw it in the oven. So hopefully that'll get to, well, I don't know the thermal expansion chart, but less than 1 thou. So let's throw that in there. We're going to lightly oil this up. And we're going to lightly oil our crank bolt up. We have a new one, but we're going to use the old one for installation. So we'll put oil on the threads there to help that. Pull it in, and that should go on pretty easy. All right, the clock's winding down. We're ready to go.
Yeah.
So I'm going to grab it with I'll set you guys up on the bench here. I'll set it on. And then you're going to get ready with the bolt and the impact. Oh! It's not that hot. I don't know. Okay, put that bolt in.
It's definitely not 200.
We could have probably left that in a little longer.
Did the job.
Yeah. I mean, you could probably do it with an impact straight up, but you just don't want to go.
So,
All right,
so
so we're gonna
get the water pump on.
water pump,
Maybe the accessory bracket.
accessories, and
Started looking at the fuel rails here too. So these are what we used before to mount it. And we have these little L brackets we use. And we had them kind of positioned like this on those bolts there, or screws. But we're gonna try just flip it this way and kind of tap some new holes and see if we can just set it like that on there. If not, we'll just make some new L brackets. And yeah, so we'll start getting that together.
ring the bell. Yeah. By GameStop. Water pump's on. We're gonna torque that 2 steps, 11 foot-pound and 22 foot-pound. And then we're gonna do the power steering bracket.
Nice.
Riley, what the fuck? Alternator, power steering on, and we're just gonna change out these alternator pulleys there. You can see the difference. Apparently the Ballancer is 25% smaller which I guess is going to spin the alternator 25% slower. So we need to go to a smaller pulley to speed that back up, so we don't have any low battery, low voltage issues. So that's pretty easy. Just a little Torx and a 24 mil wrench that slides right off.
That's it.
Is the new one a little tighter?
Yeah.
We could give it a little buff inside, or just a light tap, but all right. And then, yeah, we're gonna have a look at these injector rails. All right, so it's a frigid Saturday outside. It's ridiculous, minus 30 or something. Yeah. So today, we went and picked up some raw material to make these injector bracket mounts. I mentioned this week that I was gonna take them to work to mill that 1/8 inch off, just to get the rails closer to the, like Riley was saying, the problem is they're hitting on here, so milled some more clearance there.
And then just gonna cut these 2-inch long L brackets. It's kind of already curved.
Yeah, and it's got a nice radius bend in there, so should have lots of strength.
And then what we're gonna do is, so where it mounts to the fuel rail here, we're just gonna cut out a little window where it would hit this, I don't know, what do you call this?
Just a rail mount.
Yeah. So where it would hit that and it would push it out the width of the material, we're just gonna cut it out so it should get nice and close.
Yeah, we're just gonna window the mount out so we don't lose any, because we wanna maintain the proper injector angle, and if it kicks out like that, it's not where the injector should be, so we wanna keep it tight to that mount. So, we're gonna make our first prototype here.
Yeah.
All right, so Riley had to bugger off here, but we just finished making up one bracket. Pretty simple, you can see from the top, focus there. And that gives us the right angle of the injector. It's a little ugly. Could be cleaned up a little more, but the reason it's offset like that is because we wanted to use some of the existing holes there. So that's her. Straighten that angle out a little bit, but once we get the other side made, it that'll even out and we'll snug everything up. So nothing to it. Probably could have EDM something real nice at work, but 5 minutes, 10 minutes a piece isn't a big deal. So we'll make 3 more of those, and then our rails are done. All right, so next day again. All right.
These guys say all right a lot at the start of their clips.
Oh, Mike's a government-approved guest before anybody phones the COVID police.
One of Clayton's too.
He's number 1 on the list.
Not 2?
So anyway, we're done here. I made the 3 other brackets, but I fucking goofed up.
You're really gonna talk about it?
Yeah, I'm gonna show them. I know. But anyway, what I did, and I specifically made a note to Riley. I said, when we drill these mounting holes into the fuel rail, we have to watch that we don't break through into the injector port. And you can see there what I did. So I had it in the vise like this, covered with a rag, so I couldn't even see the injector port, and proceeded to drill a hole right through. So, fuck. So anyway, I just put another bolt in there, cut the head off it, Loctite the shit out of it. So I'm gonna take that to work tomorrow, and I'm gonna basically just trace out that circle with an end mill, and it'll mill away that thread, and hopefully won't leave any voids, because it's close to where the O-ring is gonna sit. And if there's a void there, the fuel will bypass the O-ring, and that's not good. So hopefully this is okay, but we'll find out tomorrow. Other than that, we are now complete on Riley's motor, other than we need to figure out the throttle linkage, which we'll probably pick that up this week. But before we set it in the car, I ordered an adjustable proportioning valve for the rear brake, so we need to gut the factory proportioning valve and then find a good spot between the throttle, cable mount, and the proportioning valve. We'll get that done this week, and then we can set the motor back in. So we'll see you then. All right, so it's a few days gone by. I say the same thing all the time. It's reality. A few days have gone by. So we're pretty much done with the intake. We've swapped over the Chinese idle air control valve and the TPS sensor to the GM units. Had to do a little grinding there to get the idle air control valve in, but that's a popular thing to do.
And got the fuel rail situation figured out. I don't know if you showed them at all.
I kind of showed them that, yeah, you were at work.
Yeah, I got the brackets. I just have them painted here. Kind of a glossier black on these.
So basically we're at the point of dropping the motor in. But before we do that, we want to install a Willwood proportioning valve. So obviously his proportioning valve is set up for four-wheel drums. We've added rear discs. So we'd like to be able to dial in our rear brake bias. And I couldn't remember how I did it on my car. The garage is kind of a mess here, but on my car, I don't know if you can see, but basically I just totally bypassed the proportioning valve altogether and put it where you see it. But on Riley's car, to maybe be a little cleaner install, I think we're gonna leave the line, in and out lines on his proportioning valve as is. We're gonna gut the proportioning valve, and instead of mounting it down there, which is close to header heat and whatnot, I think we're gonna move it up to this factory. And there's a factory union up here. I think we're gonna set it right there. So it's kind of out of the way, easy to adjust, away from heat. So step one is gonna be, we're gonna gut this proportioning valve. Otherwise, just adding this makes no sense. So. All right, so that was easy as pulling the cap off. There's a spring in here and the factory proportioning unit. So that's all gutted back together. And now we're just gonna crack the two lines on this union here. And that should be a super quick, easy install. Yeah. All right, more brake, as long as we don't get brake fluid all over everything. It's in there, it's good. We have to manipulate the lines to lower them a bit. Obviously you want to be lower than your hood hinge. But that's it. Other than fine tuning it once he gets rolling on the road.
Yeah, it's all good.
Full exotic. Looks like a full adjustable brakes. Maybe tomorrow we're gonna get the engine crane in here. It's still colder than a bitch outside,
yeah.
So
been a cold month. As
a courtesy to my wife, I let her park in the garage, which limits what we can do here. So, but it's supposed to warm up this week, so she's out, and then we'll get this motor in.
Yeah.
One thing I forgot to show you was after I milled that screw, kind of. So it's not perfect. You can see a couple voids, but depending on where that O-ring sits, hopefully it's going to be okay. If it's not, I'll just mill that out and I'll make a little sleeve for it. So then I would just open up that diameter and press in a sleeve and it'll be good as new, but hopefully that'll be good as is. We'll know first time we turn the key. All right, so tonight's finally come. We're dropping in the motor.
Mm-hmm.
What are you doing in there, Ray?
Just doing some tidying up of anything that's loose. We just extended the map sensor, yeah. Because before it was on the LS1 intake, it would sit right here, pretty much against the firewall, but
it's at the back of the intake manifold versus...
Yeah. No, it'll be right on top, so right around here on the motor. So I just gave them some length, and then once that's in place, we'll get that.
And of course, it's a different map sensor with a different connectors, so
gotta find the right plug now.
Need a right plug. And yeah, what'd you do? Did some touch-ups?
Yeah, just
give her a wash.
Some water, some paint.
Nice and clean under here again.
Yeah, nice. The new block, which also just did some touch-ups and whatnot. So,
Alright,
that'll look good.
let's drop this in. Riley's off school this week. How come you get so much time off school? COVID? Is that what it is?
No,
It's just some sort of break.
reading week, yeah.
Reading week. Well, it's gonna be LSing week for you, so.
Yeah.
He's gonna plug away, get everything hooked up, electronics wise, and all the wiring and everything hooked up, coolant hooked up. But in the meantime, I think that'll be a wrap for this video.
Yeah.
Next video coming is either going to be HD2 shift kit for his 4L60. We're just waiting on Rob to get some free time and give us a hand with that. V-bands for the exhaust.
Yeah. And a new muffler.
One new muffler.
That rattling.
They are cheap, but they fall apart. You've got your proper bump steer kit that recame. We can put that on.
And then
What else? There's something else missing. Oh, the hood. We gotta do some, again, waiting for Rob, the damn Rob, you know. A little bit of body work on his hood and then get it out for paint. Turn the car around again because we have to put our new clutch
the
pack
rear end.
kit in and finish the rear end up. So yeah, stay tuned if you're interested in any of that stuff.
Yeah.
Like, comment, subscribe if you so desire.
Yeah.
Check out our Facebook page if you're interested in our t-shirts we have available. Until then,
Check you later.
check you later. Bye.
On the fern and the pearl watch.